Hello everyone, I'm Lady AFK and what you're watching is Arissa doing Thriller. Why you ask? Because I needed something on the screen while I introduced this video and this is what happened. So I somehow managed to make a video that was all dialogue, so instead of skipping it all together or making you sit through it to know what happened, I thought I'd just give you my versions of events with a few clips thrown in here and there. Hopefully it won't be too bad, plus if you make it to the end, you can see this whole sequence uncut without me talking over it. Now, as you'll remember from last episode, we left off not really knowing where to head next with the Undeath mod, but luckily while we were traveling back to Riften, I received a mysterious note from someone called the Broker, and it basically read, Ariella, I know what you did last summer. It would seem you find yourself in need of certain hard-to-obtain materials. I got the goods. Come see me. Winky Face, the Broker. And for some reason, even though we read it, it wouldn't mark it as complete in our journal. So now we know where to head, but first we have some other business to attend to, starting with returning the moon amulet to Kajaro. He then, in turn, offered his services if we were ever in need of a Khajiit warrior. And I said, thanks, but we already have one. So next we head into Riften to check out Honeyside, which I purchased off camera. And it comes with a cat that I've decided is ours. And we also have a dog at this house because I told him to wait inside and he was surprisingly obedient and stayed. So here's a quick tour of the house. We have the basics, the enchanting table, the alchemy lab. It has the children's room for 6 kids and House Carl's room, even though we don't have one, and for some reason a spa. No forge, but I mean, what do you expect from a little house? And it's pretty cool, but it's too small for our huge family, so I don't see us spending much time there. Now we head to the Thieves Guild to turn in the first part of that quest, because even though it's really pretty tedious, I want the Nightingale armor and the other goodies that come from completing it. I've also installed a couple of mods that go along with some of the late quest stuff that I'm interested in seeing, so we'll be popping in from time to time, kind of doing it in the background until we get to the interesting bit. So anyway, we go in and talk to Brynjolf, who congratulates us on not murdering the shopkeeps for the money we were after, and tells us we should fit in great here. I ask him if it's true that the Thieves Guild isn't doing so hot, and he tells us to just keep making coin and don't worry our pretty little heads over it. He then tells us to follow him through the secret store, which we do, and once through, Arissa says this.
Need cheap food and a great place to fence your more discounted items. What's not to love?
Indeed. I couldn't agree more. Well, except for the rats and the sewage. Anyway, then we meet with Mercer and Brynjolf says, hey Mercer, check out the new recruit. So Mercer turns to us and wants to make it empirically clear that we must play by the rules and rule breakers lose their share, no exceptions, understood? And we're like, yeah, geez, understood. I guess he's satisfied that he laid down the law because he says it's time that I prove myself, which I thought that we had done. We had just done that with getting the money out of the shopkeepers, but I guess not. Brynjolf says, you aren't talking about Golden Glow, are you? Even our little Vex couldn't do it, which to me seemed pretty condescending for him to call her our little Vex, but if she doesn't mind, then it's none of my business. Anyway, Mercer says, yes, Golden Glow, give her the details, and as an afterthought, welcomes us into Thieves Guild. Brynjolf tells us the mission is to burn down the beehives on the estate, clear out the safe in the house, but don't burn the whole estate down. Also, there will be mercenaries stationed there, so it won't be easy, and to me this doesn't sound like something you would give your newest member, but still, it's nothing the Dragonborn can't handle. We're then sent back inside the Ragged Flagon, and there we talk to Delvin Mallory, who says he has jobs for us to help get the guild back on its feet, and we're like, back on its feet? He says, yes, everything's falling apart because we're cursed, but we're going to show that curse who's boss by making a name for ourselves once again. Even though I don't understand his logic on this, we take his word for it and leave to go talk to Vex. When I go to talk to Vex, I accidentally steal a basket. Despite Mercer's many warnings about not breaking rules, nothing happens. Vex doesn't care, she just wants to make it absolutely clear that she is the best infiltrator that ever was, and I'm nothing compared to her, all hail Vex. She thinks Delvin is crazy for thinking that it's a curse that is causing all their trouble, it's just bad luck. She then offers us a burglary job. We accept and follow up by asking her about the unusual gems. Vex says that they are the stones of Baron Zaya and she'll buy them, but only once we find all 24, which activates the handy mod we have, pointing out all of them on the map. And with that taken care of, we grab our armor and get out of there so we can finally go talk to this broker. So, the closest waypoint we have to the broker is the Banner Mist Tower, which is occupied by bandits and currently being attacked by a dragon. So we take out the bandits. Bye! And kill the dragon. In fact, I extra kill it because I keep shooting it long after it's dead. Because I'm not paying attention and don't notice that its health bar is gone. Anyway, once the dragon is super, extra, mega, very dead, and its soul is absorbed, I use the horn to call and instantly mount my horse. We make our way over to the broker shack. Once there, we find what else? Necromancers outside, who appear to have just sacked a caravan. They put up a fight, but we put them down. Once they're dealt with, we check out the damage and find a unique cloak on the ground, the Cloak of the Burned, which is aptly named because once I put it on, we can't seem to stop from setting ourselves ablaze by walking into the fire that's all around us. On the plus side, at least it looks cool. Ow! Are you serious? She did it too. We're both idiots. Okay, I don't know what happened here. Stop walking in the fire! It's inside the broker's shack we meet with this mysterious person, and she calls us my dear several times over, and talks about the good old days when necromancers reigned supreme due to the demand and all the dead bodies from the Great War. We ask her what she has for sale, and though she doesn't have the ingredients I was expecting, she does, however, have remodels for Ravenscorn Spire and Solitude Sewers. We can't buy any, however, because we're broke. So I decided we should do the Worm's Tooth questline next, in order to get that big cash money payout. She insults the Old Mages Guild, and us, since we used to be guildmaster after all, for their fear of the necromantic arts. Although that rule was already in place once we got there. She then finishes up by calling us my dear a few more times, and gives us a copy of Necromancer's Moon, which I read and it cleared up nothing. Still confused, I decide we should take a look around the Solitude Sewers next. When we get to Solitude, I go to tell Arissa to go ahead and we'll catch up, but I instead ask her about her past, which finishes up her quest, so I guess we should actually listen to it.
Who I am now. Wanderer, cutpurse. I had a home once, Oakshore, a great estate just north of Hammerfell. The mild winters led to bountiful harvests every year, which made us very wealthy. I was raised to be every bit the nobleman's daughter. We sold crops to the Empire and the Aldmeri Dominion for years. One day, my father was approached by a Thalmor official named Vidric. That day, he wanted to buy more than crops. They wanted to buy Oakshore itself.
What did your father say?
He refused. Oakshore was our home, our paradise. He wasn't about to let anyone take it from us, but Oakshore was too important to the Dominion. It would make a perfect stronghold and let them keep tabs on Hammerfell. So Vidric made a plan. He harassed my father day and night. Then he sent Gunnar to pose as Stormcloaks who would protect my father from the Thalmor, for a price. Gunnar's men began causing trouble, stealing, hurting people. I knew paying Gunnar was a mistake, but my father didn't know what else to do. He told no one else in Oakshore that he was accepting help from the Stormcloaks. He knew what that would do to us if the Empire ever found out. One night, I followed one of Gunnar's men to a farmer's house. He barged in, demanding ale and bread. When he tried to touch the farmer's wife...
Things got ugly.
Yes. He fought back. He didn't win. I watched through the window as Gunnar's lapdog just slaughtered them both. I ran as fast as I could. I hid nearby as all of Oakshore gathered at the farmer's house, yelling and demanding answers. I decided that this had gone on long enough. I stepped forward and told everyone who murdered the farmer, and that we had sided with the Stormcloaks to try and hold on to our land. They arrested Gunnar, his men, and my family for collaboration with the Stormcloaks. Vidric seized Oakshore, claiming imperial right. Vidric won. Everything that happened was according to his plan.
Why didn't they arrest you?
They tried, believe me. I escaped and fled to Skyrim. I was angry, confused, betrayed. Oakshore and my family were everything to me, and now they were gone because of me.
Can't blame yourself.
Try telling that to an 18-year-old girl who just lost everything. Trust me, I could blame myself plenty, and I have for a long time. That was 10 years ago. For 10 years, I wandered
Is your family
Skyrim.
still in jail?
You showed me what it means to have a purpose, to have hope again, to bring hope to others who need it most. So thank you. My life would be very different had you not walked up to Falkreath that day. And with these documents, Oakshore might one day be ours again. Who knows? You might even get a chance to see it one day.
Maybe.
Anything else?
What's next for us?
There's always a dungeon waiting to be delved somewhere in Skyrim. With as much trouble that follows you, I never have time to get bored. So don't even think about not bringing me up.
So, moving on. We go inside the Winking Skeever and have a message pop up about that sword we found for Pelgert back in Windhelm. So we go to the basement to look for clues and overhear a conversation saying, "There's no way it's the same sword. Maybe he knows." Nonsense, why reveal his cards after all this time? This letter is suspicious. How do we know she wrote it? We need to go into that cave and see if she is still alive. Fine, but hire a bodyguard. Then she stops him because she hears us and for some reason thinks we're the best person for the bodyguard job. Possibly because we look like obvious warriors. More likely because we're the first people that came along. And hires us to go with them to do something I'm still unclear on. And after being told that we aren't worth talking to because we're the help, which even though the movie was good, as always the book was better, we move into the sewers. Once inside the sewers, we find absolutely nothing. Except for a few guards, several locked doors. Maybe I missed it because of the cat constantly blocking my screen, or maybe it's because we haven't bought the upgrades yet, but either way, we spend a long time just wandering around and not really finding anything. And eventually we give up and decide it's time to end this episode. So yeah, you did it. Congratulations, you made it to the end. And if you didn't just fast forward and jump ahead to get to the dancing, I appreciate it. Anyway, you guys are great. Don't forget to comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. Let me know what you think of the video, what you think I could do better, what you like. And as promised, here's the dance sequence.